One of the things you notice is that the scholarly story of Black solidarity and thought and action following emancipation is much too simple a story. For example, we'll find churches, scores of them, in which 6 months after the war, the scholarly stereotype of Black separation seems to be unfolding when a church will dismiss 20, 30, 40 Black members to form a separate Black church. But then if you look closely at the records, you notice 80 Black members stayed in the church. So what's that about, right? Some of those members, a third of them stay in for at least 2 years. 5, 6, 7% stay in until they die. I mean, there's very different kinds of stories. I wanted to find a way to talk about these ideological divisions that might be revealed by different ecclesiastical choices. But I actually don't think it's all ideological anymore. People don't always act on their ideological commitments. Sometimes life is hard. Sometimes you worry that if you act on your ideological commitment, you'll lose your job. Sometimes there's inertia. Sometimes you want to stay where you're comfortable. And so I don't see the really clear ideological foundation for the decisions of these men and women anymore. The big surprise is just that so many Black churchgoers were reluctant to leave. There's a very small literature on this. The ecclesiastical part in general, but the overall Reconstruction literature, I mean, the big story is solidarity and separation. And it's just not the church story. This is an example of religion and politics playing out in a way that involves questions of race and racial solidarity and the virtues of integration and kinds of separation. All those questions are still relevant today. How anyone might abstract a particular political program from the book, I'm not certain, but I think it's important at least to puncture myths that aren't true, on which we base some of our decisions, and also to acknowledge that the present is complicated. Why wasn't the past complicated as well? Why can't we understand the past as complicated as the present? Questions about race and identity and community are things that we think about a lot at Elon now with our unprecedented commitment to diversity and global engagement. And we need to listen to each other, and we need to understand the complicated reasons that people make decisions. And I think if we think about a complicated situation in Reconstruction in which people made decisions about inclusion, participation in the civic community versus participation in communities of racial solidarity, yeah, I think maybe we might get some clues about how we can handle some of our own questions of diversity better today.